it is time for Calling the Clock, and we have 8 new segments on the board, some exciting stuff. So let's just put 2 minutes on the clock and get right to it. Jesse, Jason Mercier is back. And not only is he back, he won a WSOP bracelet. This is pretty incredible. He hadn't won one in what, 7 years?
Yeah. It is. And when he won last time, he won 2 bracelets. And it's wild. I mean, I didn't even recognize him without his beard.
Oh, I know. He shaved his head. He shaved his beard. Same thing.
Man.
It's a whole new look for him, and it's exciting. So Jason Mercier was one of the biggest names in poker. He's probably a future Hall of Famer. I think that's safe to say. Was a crusher for many years, traveling the world, playing the highest stakes, all these bracelet bets, and then settled down, got married, had some kids. I think maybe 3 now. I'm not 100% sure, but lives in South Florida. Doesn't really travel too much outside of that. Maybe plays at the Seminole Hard Rock down there, but comes to the WSOP this year, event number 60, $1,500, no limit, deuce to 7 single draw, and he wins it. Not only that, he tops a really stacked final table that had Eric Seidel ended up finishing in 5th place, John Turner in 4th, Brad Ruman in 3rd, and he gets heads up with Mike Watson again.
So sick. What, like, how has that happened?
I don't know, like off the top of my head, all the tournaments in the past that these two have been heads up in, but they've been some big ones, and Mercier just seems to dominate them. I think he's won them all, right? Poor Mike Watson.
From my memory, absolutely, yeah. No joke, man. I mean, how does it feel to be Mike Watson seeing your heads up and be like, again?
Yeah.
I know this time I'll get you. This time I'll get you. Not this time, unfortunately, Mike.
Mike Watson, runner up for $93,000. Jason Mercier taking it down for $151,000, and his 6th WSOP bracelet. Sean Deeb captured his 6th earlier in the series. These are 2 guys, both of them, that are going to be joining this backlog of Poker Hall of Fame nominations, unless we get some changes in that process, which, I'm sure Mr. Negreanu is going to advocate for.
Offhand, do you know how old Mercier is?
I don't offhand.
I don't think he's 40. I think he's a little under, but
yeah, I want to say like 35 to 40 range in between.
Yeah, he's knocking on the door. It's got to be close.
And I think he's a first ballot Hall of Famer for what it's worth.
I mean, all right. So the ladies event kicked off yesterday, and how are we not surprised? Record-breaking numbers. I mean, this is the world we live in, Chad.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. 1,295 runners over a $1.1 million prize pool. I don't think any men this year tainted it by paying $10,000 to enter, right?
No, they're all in the ladies' bathroom. That's where those men are.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my goodness, this summer's been insane,
The
dude.
security needs to lock that down a little
Please.
bit. It looks like as we're recording this, it is hand-for-hand play, so they're on the money bubble.
Let's go.
As we're recording this. And it's just exciting to see. I walked through the field yesterday, saw a bunch of, the Jamie Kerstetters, kind of England, a bunch of the females just having a good time. You've seen it on social media. It was a special event. I think the only complaint that I seen was that it was so large, it had to be split up between the Paris and the horseshoe side, whereas they would have loved it to be under one roof. Right. I think in the future, they'll probably make that change, because yesterday was just crazy between the massive turnout in the ladies event, but massive turnout in the $1,000 Super Turbo Bounty. WSOP had their hands full. Yeah, no, I agree. Everything I've seen has been very positive. As it always is, though. Like, this is the event that so many ladies come out for, and they, it's WSOP is summer camp. The ladies event is their summer camp as well. And so with the special WPT cash game they had, the Mimosa meetup game, that was a big blast I heard about with the WPT people hosting it. I mean, it's just a great week. It always feels like it's just a more fun, relaxed celebration. And so very happy to see the record be broken with $1,295. There's some big names still left in there. I'm looking over the chip counts on PokerNews.com right now. Lisa Roberts, Karina Jett, Samantha Abernathy, all still there battling. And like I said, about 200 players left on the money bubble. This is going to be a good one. I don't know. Ruth Hall is still in there. We're both very familiar with Ruth Hall. She's a crusher. Yeah. Nancy Birnbaum, who is near and dear to my heart. Good luck to them all. And Katie Stone's there as well. So get this. Greg Raymer has won 2 events this week. Not World Series of Poker events, but Greg Raymer is in the City of Sin, and he is making his way around town. He won an event on Tuesday night at the Resorts World. They're one of their dailies, I believe, or maybe it was a $200 buy-in. But he also picks up the Seniors Champion event yesterday at Golden Nugget. Whoa, hey, pretty Greg Raymer. He shows that he can still win. He won the Robbie's Mixed Game Festival mixed tournament a year or two ago for a platinum pass. Yeah, I remember that. Greg Raymer, I got to give Greg credit. I've always liked Greg. I think he's been a great ambassador for the game. Next year will mark the 20th anniversary of his win. Yeah. Right. And he's just remained relevant. He's been around. He's always friendly with the fans. He's always taking pictures, signing autographs. He's playing
signing fossils.
Yep, signing his fossils.
Oh yeah,
playing stakes from, like you said, the dailies at the Resorts World to he's probably going to play the WSOP main event. I'm going to assume again.
Doubt, right? Yeah.
And so just credit to Greg Raymer there, and I do love to see him win. I love the photo here of him at the Golden Nugget because it's got the PokerNews Cup sign. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but he's down there doing his thing, and it's just always good, in my opinion, to see Greg win because while he might not have had a boom like Chris Moneymaker, he was part of that growth, that expansion, right? 2004 was the year after Moneymaker won, and we all remember Raymer defeating David Williams heads up in that whole final table.
And this year, Greg Raymer has had 8 cashes on his head of mom in 2023. Only 2 of those are WSOP cashes, and this doesn't include the 2 we just talked about. Resorts and Golden Nugget are not on there yet. He's won at the Win. Or not won. He's cashed at the Win, cashed at the Gulf Coast Poker, Pearl River Poker Open, the Poker Stars Caribbean Adventure, of course, and the Mid Atlantic Poker Open in Hanover. I mean, yeah, like you said, he's not shying away at all. He's definitely out there playing, and it's a lot of fun. I think it's great. So I'm happy to see him with the success, man.
Yeah, me too. Well, we mentioned the PokerNews Cup,
Speaking
Jesse.
of success. Holy shit,
know.
dude.
You were there.
Shit,
I haven't been there yet.
Oh my gosh.
Tell him about it.
Man alive. Okay, I guess it's just the mystery bounty is what we needed to do. So last year we hosted our first PokerNews Cup at Golden Nugget. $1,100 buy-in, just a no-limit hold'em event with a day 2 and day 3 broadcast.
$1 million guarantee.
$1 million guarantee, yes. And then we hit, I think it was 1.2. It was what was cool. It was the largest prize pool ever for the Golden Nugget with its storied history. Very nice. Okay, 185 runners on day 1A. So this year our hope was to hit that, maybe a little bit more, but we kind of were worried. We were a little bit worried. There were some posters made that didn't say Mystery Bounty. It was a little like, do they know? Do they know that's a Mystery Bounty? Yes, they did, because we had 500 entries yesterday.
That's crazy.
We nearly tripled our day 1A from last year. We have over 300 already just an hour after it started.
I just messaged we were talking, a reporter there, because he said it was 15 minutes ago, 369 so far. Okay. So it's got to be more than that. We're knocking on the door of 400 already.
We're more than likely going to hit, so we need 1,035, I think it is, to hit the guarantee. Right. It sounds like we're going to hit that today. So that means that tomorrow's day 1C is just gravy.
Yeah, which is
just
always
pouring gravy all over that.
The biggest and best as it is.
Oh my goodness. This could hit 2 million, dude. How sick would that be?
Jesse and I are going to be down there almost daily, especially for day 2. You're going to do the envelope mystery bounty draws.
I'll be doing the bounty pools.
I'll do commentary on the final table.
We'll do final table. I'll be commentary with you on day 3.
Yeah. On day 2, I'll do feature tables, not final tables. Yeah, exactly. And then day 3. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
The best part that I keep trying to tell people about is this sweat cam whole idea that we're doing, where you have an overhead camera where you pull the envelope and a camera on your face. The stream's going to be sick. If you can't make it out, please tune in with us and watch. I think we're going to have it on YouTube and Twitch. That way it can live on YouTube forever. Right. Because we want that history. While Twitch, it kind of disappears after a few months. So make sure to tune in, hang out with us, talk to Chad. He'll be in the chat. We'd love to see you guys support the PokerNews Cup. It'll be a lot of fun.
Get down.
Come play.
Yeah. Golden Nugget, downtown. Only poker room downtown in Vegas.
How about this Player of the Year race?
It's tight.
How
it's back and forth.
Dude, I mean, it's just nonstop psycho. Yeah. It's just psycho. So yeah, the numbers right now, which are not up to date because Matusow made a deep cash last night. But as of right now, Sean Deeb holds the lead by 20 points at 33.58. Ian Matusow is at 33.38.
But with points coming, as you said.
Okay. Chad, who the hell is Ian Matusow?
So Ian Matusow is a guy we've known about in the Midwest for a long, long time. He's from Minnesota. When I worked for the Mid-States Poker Tour, the MSPT, he was there, and he was kind of like the new young guy. He's going to be the next big thing, right? I think he might have got coaching or learned a little bit under Ku Vang, who is largely regarded as one of Minnesota's best poker players. He's an MSPT Hall of Famer, just won the largest poker tournament in Michigan history, the MSPT Michigan State Championship earlier this year. Ku Vang is a crusher, and Ian Matusow, I think, a little bit of a protege. And here he is making a name for himself at the 2023 WSOP. Primarily, he's not a mixed game guy. He's playing no limit events. He does online, he does it live, and he's going toe to toe with Sean Deeb, who plays everything, mixed games and what have you. It's just very rare for us to see a no limit hold'em specialist contending for WSOP Player of the Year.
He's got 15 cashes.
Yeah.
And a bracelet. Okay, well, he is playing some PLO at least. Played the online PLO 8 max and finished in 17th. He played the, what was the other PLO? PLO 8-handed 1K on made, came in 282nd. Like so he doesn't do the crazy mix, right? The 2 to 7 triple draw, the stud, 8 or better. He doesn't do those, but Man,
we want you to know him. I've tasked one of our writers, John Sofin, to write a feature article about Ian Matusow so the poker world can get to know him a little bit better. Maybe he'll be a feature guest on the show here, and we'll have to wait and see. But let's not cut out Chad Eveslage, who won 2 bracelets early on. We thought he was a favorite. He jumped up into 3rd place, 2,745 points after another deep run.
That's pretty wild. So we got Mike Matusow making that 2nd place finish this past week. He makes a deep run, man. Another stud high-low 8 final table.
Yeah, just a few days later, which was pretty impressive. Obviously, 7-card stud high-low is one of his best tournaments. His last bracelet back in 2013 was in the $5,000 7-card stud high-low 8 or better. I was there for that one. It was pretty exciting. And here he is making 2 final tables in that variant. Welty's being nominated for the Poker Hall of Fame. That's good for his cause, for sure.
Got to be good for his cause. Yeah. You know, I know. The way our show works is their interview with Daniel's can come after this, but we already had it. Just to be transparent with you guys, and let's just go ahead and say it. Daniel does not think he's going to make it in, and I mean, I guess Daniel has a better pulse of what's going on than I do. But man, I mean, it feels like Mike's really making this year as much as he can.
I think Mike. The only thing, nothing against Mike, like he's doing everything he can this year, right?
Sure.
It's just that Ryan Rast happened to win the 50K Poker Players Championship for the 3rd time and is nominated. It's going to be hard to overcome that, I think, is the gist of it. But it is good to see Matusow succeeding, and I understand that there's supposed to be a documentary coming out about him later this year too. So right now things are looking pretty good for Matusow, and he's, in my opinion, kind of staying out of the limelight for all the wrong reasons, which he doesn't always do.
Let me ask you, what would it take to get Mike Matusow in the Hall of Fame this year? What would have to happen to his resume?
I mean, we just talked about the main event and having a big name pro win that.
If Mike wins it or makes the final table,
I think would be great. Remember when he made the final table in 2005 was like one of his most iconic moments.
100%.
If he were to win a bracelet, I think that certainly could help, but it would be a tight race, I think, right now, because Rast is just so strong, as Negreanu will highlight. It just
how about 3 more final tables? How about 3 more deep runs? Is that enough?
I don't think so. No, not
4,
this year.
4, 5? No. Okay. Wow.
One bracelet worth all those.
Yikes. Yeah. Okay. High stakes duel for the rematch of Doug Polk and Daniel Negreanu. Why?
Well, they got to all eyes are on the WSOP right now, and you got to look forward in the future when you're some companies like Poker News or Poker Go, right? And you had the high stakes duel with Eric Persson and Daniel Negreanu before the WSOP. And they were supposed to play 2 back-to-back, but then Persson had something come up. He couldn't do it.
Right.
And so it was just kind of left on this low note. And I think, this is the Polk Negreanu grudge, if you will. There's not really a grudge anymore. They kind of buried the hatchet.
They're friends now, yeah.
Yeah, but it still should be fun. They're each putting up $100,000, so it'll be $200,000. I think what makes this a good match, though, is I would imagine whoever wins, or whoever loses, rather, will exercise the rematch option. So we have the opportunity to build a bigger pool than we might have seen in the past, with Hellmuth. Hellmuth ended up losing a $1.6 million match to Jason Kuhn. But I don't know. Like, it's not anything I'm super excited about. It's scheduled for August. I don't know if the official date hasn't been determined yet, but it'll be on Poker Go in August sometime.
Okay. But my question to start this whole thing was why? Why, Chad? I mean, because we've seen it. We've seen them play live in Poker Studio to start their big match, their big heads-up duel. And then after that, when went online, Doug Polk just took Negreanu to the hospital, man. And he put him on life support. He just took all the money he had. And of course, it's Negreanu money. So there's never-ending supplies. But it's just like, I think
you got 2 guys with 2 huge followings.
Yes, of course.
We need the excitement back of the high stakes duel, because this is a great show. It is a great format. I think everybody who
love it. Absolutely,
we love it when we watch it. But it's just been so much time in between episodes. Like, all right, we need to get this going a little faster, a little bigger. And I think these are 2 good candidates to do that.
I hope it's good. All right, let's wrap this up with Hellmuth and D-Neg's updates. This is our 10th episode. That means this is week 5, a wrap up the week 5 of the World Series. There's only 2 weeks left, really. And we got main event as the big focus. No bracelet yet. No bracelet yet for either our guys, Negreanu or Hellmuth.
No bracelet, no final tables for either of them.
I mean, man, this is a different year than what we expected when we first started.
What's funny is, based upon what I've seen on Daniel Negreanu's vlogs and even chatting with him, as our guest today, and then what you see from Hellmuth in his social media, both seem to be in good spirits despite not, making a final table. They both feel that they're playing very well. And I think that is probably pretty accurate because they do have some results, just not the results that I think we expected.
And I mean, in all honesty, we all know poker has its variance, right?
Right.
Like you can be on the top of your game, and because the way the cards go, it just doesn't come your way for multiple tournaments. These are MTTs. I mean, that's what this is. This isn't cash. This is just a quick session that you can jump in and out of. So what we've seen is back on June 26th, Hellmuth made another run in the deuce to 7 low draw, the 1500, finishes in 29th for 4,200. Before that was the 10K horses, which I think we talked about last time, finishing in 11th place. Over on Daniel's page, what we got? We've got...
well, he had his most recent one was when I thought he was really going to break through. That was the 10K 7-card stud high-low.
That's right, yeah.
And he had the chip lead when there was like late 20s, 30 players left, something like that. And I'm like, ooh, I got a feeling this is going to be the one. He knows 7-card stud high-low really well.
Chad's feeling was wrong, 17th place.
Yeah, it just kind of fizzled there. No, you're not wrong. It's that one was a little surprising to me because I was watching on the vlog as he went. That final table is slated to play out today, so we don't know who the winner is. That was the one that Mike Matusow also had a deep run in, finishing in 9th place. So I don't know. I feel like before the WSOP is out, we need to see at least one final table from one of them.
My fingers are freaking crossed, man. I wanted to see that in the last week. That'd be so good. So such a way to end it.
The main event, either of them.
End it, just like we just ended calling the clock. How good is that? Man, lots of fun. Let's go ahead. Let's just bring him in, okay? Clap your hands. Start singing. We're bringing in Daniel Negreanu, Real Kid Poker. Come on in.